All right. Hello, everyone. We are here on the final speaking session of UHAG. In the morning session, today we're going to have two presenters and one fireside chat. We're going to start off with Sasha presenting from Waku. They'll be talking about uncompromising Web3 communication at scale. Then there's a bit of mix-up compared to what we have on the picture. We're going to have the fireside chat with Cheng Xing Li. They're going to be talking about the Bitcoin layer 2 that will be arriving to Conflux. And in the end, we're going to have Monica from OKX talking about the all-for-one Web3 app of OKX. So, welcome, Sasha. Welcome, Ivan. How are you guys doing?
Hello, all good. Happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so I think just start off with a small introduction of yourself, and then the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Thank you.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Sasha. I am a protocol engineer at Waku, and I got into it by being very hyped and interested in peer-to-peer technology. And this is essentially what we are building at Waku. We are building a peer-to-peer network, and this is very fascinating to me personally. Yeah, so Ivan, if you want, thank you, sorry.
Hi, morning, everyone. This is Ivan from Waku, mostly working in the backend part in the NIM version of the Waku node. Yeah, I'm very excited to be part of this project. Super interesting. The goal that we are pursuing is super enriching as well. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the presentation. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Ivan. Welcome. The topic today is to discuss how Waku helps to deliver the uncompromising communication layer for Web3. And I will start with explaining what is exactly Waku. And there is Waku is a family of protocols which provide privacy. First, they're privacy oriented. They provide decentralization by default. This is a part of design of protocols. And security is also a huge part of it. And everything works over a peer-to-peer communication, which means that whenever you are running any subset or set of protocols that Waku provides, you are participating in the whole network. So, and once you have a client which is running the protocols that we implemented and we delivered, discovered, let's say, you are participating in the Waku network. I will go ahead and explain some properties of Waku. So why Waku? Waku is censorship resistant by default. These are the properties of the network that we are building. And this is a fiber of the network. Even if we as developers want to censor someone out of our network, we won't be able to do so because our primary goal to be unopinionated. And that means that the network doesn't care about what kind of applications you develop. Wherever you need to have any degree of change of information, like it can be a part of infrastructure of the app or something else, Waku is there for your needs, but Waku does not know anything about what you're doing. It's essentially a stream of bytes. And so simple. It is decentralized to a huge extent, meaning that whenever you, as a contributor to the network, decide to participate, you will discover the network yourself. There won't be someone telling you like, okay, connect to this peer or to that peer. You will do it yourself, and you can change it in any way you want it. And that means that it is fully decentralized technology. Privacy preserving, this is part of the previous point that I brought, is that because network is not having any opinions about anything, we as well don't know anything about you. So security, you as developer or a participant can have any degree of security you want, your application on. It can be as easy as just not having any encryption over your data, like anyone can read it, but as well as to have like the highest degree of encryption, so no one can access any information you're exchanging, and network again does not care about it. And we do have, so you might think, okay, this is probably very resource consuming technology, but no, we had invested a lot into researching lightweight protocols, which allow you as participant to be in the network on any device possible. So it can be as easy as just running a Raspberry Pi device, and as well as you can have like a mainframe in your, I don't know, in your backyard running Waku or teraflops of speed. So history, let me tell you about some history. So 2013, Ethereum, and Ethereum developed another set of technology, which was Swarm and Whisper, and this was a holy trinity of Web3. Why? Because Ethereum was providing and still providing is a consensus layer, meaning that you can agree on anything. This is blockchain. Swarm was providing a way for you to go back in time, like having some layer of data, like a database. You can perceive it like this. Whisper was a connection layer between everything, those two entities in this case, that allowed for them to talk to each other. And moving forward, until 2019, Whisper was like the only solution, let's say. And but the progress was very slow because everyone was focusing on blockchain and not on other part of things. And in 2020, our team came up with the first version of Waku, and it was go-to solution for status app. And it was battle tested in the context of the status. And we were able to achieve huge performance gains. We got better scalability. We decreased data consumption, and we're able even to utilize resources better on the end device. And in 2021, we were able to release a couple of implementations of protocol, which are Waku. This is a go-to implementation of our protocol, which is written in new language. Go Waku. This is more of a client implementation at this point, and obviously written in Go, and GS Waku. So, and right now we are evolving. We are stepping ahead, and we are evolving this protocol to be a go-to solution for any communications possible in Web3, meaning that you can create dApps that have no backend and just Waku behind, and they can talk to each other. You can create like infrastructure for Internet of Things that would run in a privacy preserving network. They would be able to discover each other, and there will be no single entity or point of failure. And this is our ultimate goal. So how do we operate? Since we are aiming to build a public good, which means that anyone can, like anytime, take our whatever we develop and enhance it in their own way. We are building in open, so we provide MIT and Apache 2.0 licenses, meaning that you can take our code and change it wherever you want, as well as our RFCs. And we work, how to put it? We work research first, meaning that we have an amazing team of researchers in our project. And we do have a huge research push for new and old protocols to improve them over time or to come up with new solutions. And all of our research is public. You can go to by this QR code rfc.waku.dev, and you can refer to all of RFCs for our protocols. You can read in details why some decisions were made, and if you disagree, you can propose solution or build on top. I will go ahead and explain some protocols and concepts that exist. If you go by this QR, you will go to the documentation where everything is written perfectly. So relay protocol. This is the backbone of our network. Relay makes it possible for network to function. It has a PubSub architecture, meaning that you can declare that you are interested in some topic and to the network, and network will provide you with such information over this topic, meaning that let's say you're interested in elephants, and it will tell you anything that happens about elephants if the network knows. This is very far-fetched example still. Since this is backbone, it is responsible for sending and receiving messages, and it's built on top of LP2P's gossip sub protocol, and we enhance it a lot in the context of Waku. So we provide some heuristics and improvements to it so that it can actually be scalable. I'll go ahead. Earlier I mentioned about light clients, how we strive to provide support for any people that might not have money for, I don't know, recent markup, whatever. So for that, we have light protocols. Two of the main light protocols that we have is filter protocol and live push protocol. So filter allows you to subscribe to any data that happens in real time in network. So let's say you have a communication in a room, you can subscribe to such a room and receive any data exchange in said room. Light push, on contrary, allows you to send data to the network over some specific topic. So, and having them together, they can be a substitution for relay protocol, which covers both of these cases on the resource-restricted devices, as well as on high-end devices, if you need so. Then store protocol. Store protocol is our try to allow you to, if you, let's say, you were a part of network, you tried to, you received all messages in the network that were exchanged over whatever you were interested in. And at some point you went offline, let's say for 5 minutes, and then you got back, but you are obviously interested in whatever you were missing. So this protocol facilitates this need. All messages are stored in the network in the way they were exchanged for some time. We don't. Some time ago it was 30 days. Right now it's a couple of weeks, so still sufficient enough for most cases. We are still working on this protocol, so many more improvements are coming soon. So these ephemeral messages will disappear, but if you try to request them right now, you will be able to, let's say, fill the gap of last 5 minutes. This protocol will be incentivized in future, and we are working on that. Meaning that if you are, as a participant in the network, want to make this network a better place, you can provide this service and get something in return. So the other protocol, one of the core protocols that we do have, and very important to the network to make it scalable, is RLN. RLN stands for rate limiting nullifier, which is some ZK magic everyone is talking about these days. But how it works is it provides DDoS protection for our network, meaning that if you try to exchange more messages than you are allowed in such a network, you'll be slashed. You'll be slashed and banned from the network. Of course, you might say, like, how it can work in a privacy preserved manner, but it does work. Please refer to RFCs if you want to read more details. We are bringing it to the production readiness soon. It already can be used right now. There are implementations for present, but as of now, we have only a Sefolio contract that facilitates RLM. In short, the workings of such a protocol is, if you want to participate in the Waku network that I mentioned before, you need to create your to become a part of the network. So to do so, you need to create some credentials. That is done by sending a transaction to the to RLM contract, where you do a little staking, so that you are incentivized not to break rules of the network. In return, you get proof of you being part of the community of the network. Later on, once you send messages, you can use this information retrieved from the contract to generate proofs for each message. And once these proofs are generated, they can be verified in a way that no one knows that you is you, and more than that you are part of the network and you are part of the RLM contract. So everyone can verify that, but no one can know who are you exactly. And if you break the rules, the math works in a way that your secret will be leaked. So let's say we have a threshold of 1 message per 1 second, and you send 2. That means that second message will reveal a secret to someone in the network, and if they retrieve 2 of your messages, and second one being the reason for you to break the rule, you, a person who received such a message, can do the math and retrieve the secret that they can go with to the contract and get your stake. And that's it. So now you don't have any participation in the community, you've been banned. Now you cannot create any valid proofs for your messages, and no one will send them further. Okay, so the other important concept is Waku message. What is Waku message? This is what nodes are talking to each other. This is the language of the network. And since I said the network is unopinionated, meaning that only bytes of data, raw bytes of data are exchanged, this is how they are getting interpreted. There are important parts of it, and those parts are content topic, payload, and those mean that content topic should be, I will talk about it a bit later, but payload is exactly the body of the message. If I were to put an analogy, it's like an HTTP protocol where you have like some headers. This is like a meta information, and then you have the main body. So main body is the payload. Everything else is meta information. So content topics. So Waku messages are exchanged in the network, and there are 2 types of topics. One is the pub subtopic, another one is the content topic. What is the difference? Might be misleading, but pub subtopics are the clusters in the network. So if I were to put it bluntly, is we cannot scale room to 1,000 people and make it possible for each of them to talk to each other. It's like obvious. So what we do is that we create subrooms, subclusters, based on their interests. Let's say there is like a Reddit, has subreddits. There is a Reddit for memes, and there is Reddit for last language. You get information from only those that you are interested in, or both of them at the same time, if you are capable of processing such an information. So content topic is something more granular, like, let's say, in Rust, you might be interested in the frameworks that are providing, like you can build web-based applications. This is the content topic. This is something granular that you are interested in on a huge topic. And you send messages to both of them at the same time. So how to get started with Waku? There are 2 ways, as I said. One way is you can operate a Waku node, and you can be a full-fledged participant in the network, helping others to get a better privacy and security. The other way is you can be a builder. It's also that I will tell in detail. So to operate a node, as I mentioned before, And Waku, you can run it as the light client, let's say, having light push or filter protocols only on it. And let's say some other node in the network being your main node so that you connect to it and this then broadcast your messages to the world. Or you can be the node, meaning that you would run relay protocol fully, you will discover node, you will discover network, you will connect to other participants in the network, and you'll be a reliable participant. So relay nodes provide resources to the network, and what they do is they relay all messages that they see. So let's say this scenario, you are getting a Waku client through Docker or through binaries or through, we have a compose application, which is very convenient for such needs. Check out our GitHub. You run a command and that's it. What the node does under the hood, it does the discovery of the network, going to some DNS, retrieving some DNS records first, then talking to other peers, asking them for some other peers. And this works like a deep first search. So it just press for search, I'm sorry. So it then discovers the all peers and the graph of the network. And those that this node is connected to directly, your node will be listening to them and they will be listening to your node, meaning that wherever someone in the network sees a message, it will rebroadcast to its first peers, neighboring peers, and you'll receive this message. Yeah, so we might incentivize some services here. As I said, store protocol first to go, but there are many other opportunities we are pursuing. If you have any ideas, connect with us. So current state, it's permissionless. You don't need anyone's approval to run the node. You don't need even the wallet on Ethereum server. You can just run a node. You will need a Ethereum wallet to be a part of the RLN, though, which is important. Incentivization is in progress, and DOS protection is as well in progress. Both of those will be delivered soon. So, how to build on Waku? Please go through this QR code to get to the page, which has amazing code snippets, which will be super useful for you, and links to our GitHub repositories with ready examples. You can use them any way you want them. So, what CDKs we do have? GS Waku is JS implementation. It's very convenient for you to use in the browser, but it's not advised to be used in the node environment. So if you want to build a web app, it's a go-to solution. If you want to build a Node.js application, better off going with Nvaku or GoWaku. I will tell why a bit later. So GoWaku. This is Go implementation. It has amazing bindings to some other languages. It's very convenient to use, very fast. We do have some people, some projects in the space using GoWaku fully, and this is a very it's battle tested implementation. And Waku is a reference implementation. You can use it through bindings as well. And Waku is written in NIM, so it's a SIM compatible binaries it has. You can use them to, let's say, write your own wrappers, let's say for Node.js or something else, or you can use them directly because each of the GoWaku, already not, but Nvaku provides you with some REST API so that you can trigger this through basic HTTP requests. So let's say you want to build a JS application in Node, you can write your Node application, and just through basic fetches, you can alongside run Nvaku node, and through basic fetches, you can send data to the network and retrieve it from the network. The main important thing is that it should be run on the same computer because REST API is very reveals some information that you don't want to be revealed to the open world about your node. There is also vast Rust bindings, Node.js bindings are coming soon, Python bindings as well. So stay in touch. JS Waku. So we do have a TypeScript library. We have a very convenient way for you to bootstrap a project. This is a Waku create app. Let's say if you are using Yarn, you can run this command and it will tell you what to do, and you can bootstrap some ready projects and just start hacking right away. Very convenient for you, I believe. So React hooks, this is the name of the package. This is a tiny wrapper around CDK, which gives you some bindings to React, because it's sometimes very precious and it's difficult to make everything work in React. I believe many of us know about it. And Waku CDK, this is a go-to package in any way possible. Whenever you want to use JS Waku to your solution, you probably need to use that. What is the difference between Waku React and Waku CDK is Waku React is only just for React, and Waku CDK is like just JS. You can do anything with it, any web framework, whatever you want. It's up to you. You can achieve many things because the protocols have its core implementations there. So you can take one specific protocol and do whatever you want with this. You can augment peers that you're connected to. Yeah, everything is achievable there. So I will show you two examples that we have. One example is it's a web chat. If you go through this QR code, you'll see some links, or just go to our GitHub, and there will be a reference to examples repository where there are many more, but I will show only two today. So web chat demonstrates just how group chats can be done with Waku. This is very straightforward thing that you might think about Waku, like, yeah, it's communication, so it's chats, obvious. But please don't underestimate Waku. There are many more you can do with it, many more. But this particular example shows you how you can leverage store, light push, filter, and DNS discovery and peer exchange. These are two other protocols, which I didn't mention, but they are very important to the network. What they do is that they allow you to discover the network. What in particular is done under the hood is up to you to discover. Please go to our RFCs. Another example that we have is Ethereum private messaging. And this example is great to show you how you can do wallet-to-wallet communication of encrypted data. I believe many of us don't want others to read the messages that they send. So this is something that you would like to discover. And we do have a library for end-to-end encryption for symmetrical and asymmetrical as well. So please do check. Yeah, so about users. So who is using Waku right now? As you see, some familiar names. So Status is the first one there. It's great application for communications. It has spaces and communities. It's Web3. It's my favorite Web3. Not a messenger. It's much more than messenger, but please do check it out. Railgun, XMTP, and dgraph. I think many of us do know these projects. Yeah, so please do check them out if you are interested in particular, but they use Waku for various needs, whereas where Status is using it for all communications that are happening there, messages, exchanges, and just state propagations, whereas let's say dgraph is using it for infrastructure. Their nodes are talking through Waku. So the infrastructure is decentralized by default. Other use cases. So as I said, don't underestimate it, please. Chat messenger is the obvious one. We have many chats out there. Please try to discover novel ways of applying such a technology. You can do games over it. Yes, we did see people doing games over it. The first one, the obvious one to be done is turn-based games. It's so easy. Shooters are a bit hard to make, but still possible. So you can discover that one. Wallet-to-wallet communications, marketplaces, everything is accessible. Infrastructure as well, like IT infrastructure. You have your clusters, you want them to talk to each other. Waku is there to help. Yeah, and I will end at this. So thank you.
All right, all right. Thank you, Sasha, for this beautiful presentation. All right. So my question would be, you mentioned a couple of use cases that Waku can be used to build upon. By the way, you can turn off the presentation so they can see us. Um, thank you. So yeah, you mentioned a couple of use cases for Waku. As UHack is this year focused on DeFi, how do you see that Waku could be used for DeFi protocols? What are a couple of use cases there, and what are a couple of use cases that could be very interesting maybe for hackers to explore?
Oh yeah, I should have mentioned Railgun. This is the project that I showed on the slide. This is the DeFi project which makes it possible to not reveal your transactions. And Waku is a huge part of it, meaning that in this particular project, it's used for broadcasting lowest fees possible. So what Railgun is able to provide their clients with by using Waku is their clients always paying low fees for their transactions. This is one of these interesting approaches that have been used. Other things that can be used for DeFi, well, it depends on the project, I would say. Like DeFi space is huge. If we are talking about like a marketplace, well, any data exchange is Waku, can be used over Waku. If we are talking about like some smart contract where you have like amazing, I don't know, algorithm that helps you, do something. Probably Waku is not a great place, not great technology for you to use because you're already close into the some blockchain in particular. Waku is nothing to do with blockchain in particular because it's unopinionated, but it is there to give you some other properties to your applications. Like let's say if you have a not marketplace, but let's say you try to build decentralized exchange. Great, Waku. So yeah, I hope I answered.
Awesome. Thank you for those tips and thoughts. You mentioned that Waku is looking forward to incentivize node participation. What are the thoughts around that? How are you guys gonna, or what are the thoughts of the community? How are you guys gonna frame this, or what are the thoughts that this can can happen?
Yeah. So if someone is very interested in this, jump on our Discord. We can discuss. We have a separate channel for it, as well as refer to our RFCs. Everything is getting pushed there day by day. We discover something new. But the framework, our approach to it is we think of it as any protocol that we do have is a service that you provide. Like you relate a message. This is one service. You send someone a message, which is relayed. This is another service. You received a message from someone. This is a third service. You stored a message for someone. This is a fourth service. You maybe helped someone to generate proofs so that the network does not lose this DDoS protection. This is a fifth service. And each of the services can be incentivized in its own way. Right now we are pushing on store, but others are also can be, and you can receive a monetary like money in return, incentivization for you to provide these services to the network. And this can be done in a clear way. That's what we are striving to do.
All right, thank you. And as a final question, there came a question from the audience of, do you have any project idea? Let's frame it in a way. What would you recommend hackers? What kind of projects is it worth looking into? What are the topics that you think is worth for them to explore?
Oh, ideologically, I would answer ideologically, to be honest. Not as a fellow hacker, but ideologically. I do think that we do need more projects that allow you to exchange value in a privacy preserved manner. That's why we actually have our build, our team. That's why we built our project. It gives you these properties by default, and you can use it to, like as I mentioned, Railgun. Oh, not Railgun. I'm sorry. There's another project. They do provide a way to exchange Ethereum in a way that no one knows that it's been exchanged between two parties. So it's a great approach. I know that there are projects out there, but it's nevertheless a good thing to hack on to get this mindset of building future projects. But it depends. If you want to build a real product right now, like this is your stepping stone at this point, and you do want to something, yeah, I can help with this. I mean, this is for you to discover. Please go ahead and share with me. I'm very curious.
Yeah. Great thoughts there. And I do believe, yeah, that private DeFi is something that needs to be explored, and everyone has to come up with an idea themselves. All right, Sasha. Thank you for joining us. Also, Ivan, thank you for being here. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
By the way,
Thank you.
sorry. Sorry. Before, thank you so much, Sasha, for the great presentation. I just only wanted to share some links that could be interesting for the audience. Yeah, just my 2 cents. On them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go into the live chat. All right. Thank you, Ivan.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Going forward, we are having the fireside chat with Chengxin from Conflux and Justin from Cambridge Blockchain Society. Welcome, guys.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Hi.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, very well. Excited for the conversation.
Happy to hear that. All right. Yeah. So going forward, you guys will be talking about Conflux's Bitcoin Layer 2, which is a very exciting topic to discover. So go ahead and just have this chat. In the end, I'll just throw in the questions from the audience or the questions that may arise from me. The floor is yours, guys.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. Yeah, so I guess I'll introduce myself quickly. I'm Justin. I study at Cambridge University, and yeah, been in blockchain for a little while now, but always excited to learn more things. And just as a preface, I am not what you would call a Bitcoin maxi, so I'm very excited to learn what Bitcoin is doing and the innovations that are happening on the Bitcoin network. And yeah, would you like to just give yourself a quick introduction, and then we can get into the weeds?
Yeah. I'm Lin Shenjing, and I received my PhD degree from Tsinghua University in China in the last year. And in my first year of the PhD program, I joined a blockchain product called the Conflux, and this is a blockchain target to make a very, very fast and secure layer 1 blockchain. And this project is started at about 6 years before. Yeah, and my PhD research topic is about the Conflux. So I have many experience in developing blockchain and blockchain infrastructure. Yeah, and currently we are working on something about the Bitcoin Layer 2, and I'm happy to be here to share some of our insights about the development of the blockchain infrastructure and the trading of the Bitcoin Layer 2 projects.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I think before we get started on the Bitcoin side of things, maybe we could talk a bit about what Conflux is and so it's an EVM layer 1, and what kind of inspired you generally to kind of go down the route you have with being regulated, and then what kind of inspired the route of layer 2, and then we can get into the actual questions. But just like as a general background question, why did you expand from just EVM to a Bitcoin layer 2? What's the thought process behind that?
Yeah. So first, I think it is not expand from the EVM to Bitcoin layer 2. It's just so in Conflux, our Bitcoin layer 2 is just also use the EVM as our underlying virtual machine. Yeah. And one concept is that but first I have to say the decision is made by the boss of the Conflux. I do not make the decision. Yeah, but something is about that. So we see that in the last year, so the Bitcoin economy have many new things such as the ordinals and some other things, and then the Bitcoin layer 2 becomes a hot topic. At this time, we found that the Conflux is suitable for become a very good Bitcoin layer 2 because first, so we are EVM compatible. It means that so EVM is a very large developer community, and many DeFi and some other applications are built upon of the EVM. And Conflux is compatible with this. And the second point is that the Conflux is highly efficient. So when we start to develop Conflux, we want to make a blockchain with thousands of transactions per second. And currently we are stable to so Conflux have a stable operation about 2 years. Not only 2 years, maybe 3 years or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So we think that so if we to develop a Bitcoin layer 2, so we can make this layer 2 very secure and make this layer 2 have a very good performance. So because Conflux underlying blockchain is efficient enough. Yeah, that's why that's why the boss of the Conflux decide to join the war of the Bitcoin layer 2. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I guess that kind of segues really nicely into my next question. But from my perspective, as like I'm coming into this definitely looking forward to learning a bit more because my knowledge of Bitcoin is very much this really minimalist blockchain where the expressivity of it is really minimized. So, and that kind of follows on with a lack of smart contracts. You can't really do much on the blockchain network. And it's very much financially incentivized or focused at least. So why Bitcoin layer 2s? Like what's made them possible now that wasn't possible 1 year ago, 2 years ago? Is it just that there's more developer interest in building layer 2s? Has there been a technical leap in what we can do with Bitcoin? Like what has been the catalyst for this influx of layer 2s on the Bitcoin network?
In my view, so there doesn't need a technical breakthrough to enable the Bitcoin. So I think I think the Bitcoin layer 2 is definitely market driven. So because in the last year, the ordinals, the ORDI, something like that, will so they attract a lot of attention. Yeah, and we all know that. So the ORDI has a large market cap at this point. So start with this. So start with the ordinals. I think maybe the participants in the Web3 they think that okay. So we have seen that so Ethereum's community, Ethereum's economically have developed many things, and so at this time, so Bitcoin may be the next opportunity. Yeah, because so in the Ethereum, so when you consider a DeFi product, you will find that so all the ideas you can solve have been settled, have been developed on the Ethereum. So there is no more opportunity. And for the Bitcoin, so the ORDI, they attract the people's attention from the Ethereum to the Bitcoin. And this time that people start to think, okay, so since the Ethereum layer 2 is a hot topic, maybe the Bitcoin layer 2 is the next opportunity. So I think it is why so at about the end of the last year, the Bitcoin layer 2 becomes a hot topic. And at this time, including the Conflux and including the many other projects, start to declare that they will develop a Bitcoin layer 2. Because we don't know what will happen for the Bitcoin economic. Yeah, but we think that we build a good enough infrastructure, we build the best infrastructure for the Bitcoin community will give us some market opportunity. So that's why at this point there are many Bitcoin layer 2 projects, I think.
Okay, and that's really helpful background. And what technically has happened on the Bitcoin network which has enabled this? So previously it was thought that these kind of layer 2s were unable to happen because there was no virtual machine on Bitcoin. That the way that Bitcoin works is not in the same way that Ethereum works, and so having a smart contract to deploy capital to, and then running a layer 2 from that smart contract with a representation is not possible on what was thought that it wasn't possible on Bitcoin. What has changed which has allowed for this to be the case?
Yeah, so in fact, there are many challenges or differences between the Bitcoin layer 2 and the Ethereum layer 2. Yeah, because we all know that the Bitcoin has a limited programmability. So the core part I think is that so the Bitcoin, the script lacks of the interior mutability. It means that you cannot change the data or the state of a Bitcoin address or Bitcoin contract without change of its address. For example, for a Ethereum contract, so for example, for the Bitcoin layer 2 contract, so this contract will store something such that the state root, the Merkle root of the layer 2 of the current state, and as the layer 2 blockchain operates, the contract, the state root of the contract recorded on the Bitcoin layer 1 will be changed, and some other the earlier Bitcoin, the earlier Ethereum layer 2 projects such as the Polygon, so they have a community, they have a POS committee, and this POS committee will record their public key on the Ethereum blockchain, and at this time, so if you want to change one committee, you just need to update the recorded pub key of the Ethereum. Yeah, and all these things are impossible on the Bitcoin. So because on the Bitcoin, you cannot change the value of a Bitcoin contract or with the Bitcoin address without change of its address. It means that all the data found on a Bitcoin address are unchangeable. So this is a large challenge for building a Bitcoin layer 2 project. And as I just said that, so the Bitcoin layer 2 is not driven by the technique. It is not because in the technical wise we have made some new virtual machines or we have some breaking through research result. So the market will building the Bitcoin layer 2. But it so in fact, so the thing is that the market the market side says, okay, we believe Bitcoin layer 2 will be the next opportunity, and then the different projects, the different developers will think, okay, how could we overcome these overcome Bitcoin's limited programmability, and how do we to achieve Bitcoin layer 2? Yeah, so there are many different designs, such as the BTVM, such as the Conflux design. Yeah, but all these designs have a large limitations when compared with the Ethereum layer 2. Yeah, because in the Ethereum layer 2, the ZK rollup can make the layer 2 secure enough, and the ZK EVM can make the layer 2 so fully compatible with the Ethereum layer 1. Yeah. So, but for the Bitcoin layer 2, you must choose the trade-off between the security and the compatibility. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really helpful. The comparison between the two, I think, stating that there are obviously many more functions because of the VM on Ethereum,
Right.
which various processes to happen, which can enable
Right.
really efficient layer 2 on Ethereum, for example, the smart contracts. And because of the lack of that on Bitcoin, there is a lack of optionality in terms of how we create layer 2s on Bitcoin and what those really mean. And I guess that kind of is a perfect segue into like what really is a layer 2 on Bitcoin.
Yeah. So I think before answer this question, we need to decide so what is the layer 2 or what is a true layer 2. So because I have seen some Bitcoin layer 2 projects, they are not the real layer 2. So I think the key point of a layer 2 is that who will guarantee the correctness of the state execution of the layer 2. It means that so when A sends one, for example, A sends one Bitcoin to B, so A should be deducted by one balance, and the B's balance should be added by one. Who will guarantee this correctness? And the second thing is that who will guarantee the security of the security of my assets on the layer 2. So even if the layer 2 maintainer does not work, so we can still withdraw my assets. So let's see how the different Ethereum projects answer this question. So in the early age, the Ethereum regarded the Polygon as a layer 2 project, and Polygon just use the POS committee. It means that so if you trust that the half or about 2/3 of the POS participants are honest, you can trust Polygon, and you can trust the security of the Polygon. And later, so the different types of the roll-up appears on the Ethereum blockchain, such as the optimistic roll-up and the ZK roll-up. In the optimistic roll-up, so the so for the optimistic roll-up, the security is guaranteed by that we believe there are at least one fraud challenger among all the participants. It means that if the layer 2 do not execute the transaction correctly, there will be at least one person will submit a fraud proof to the Ethereum layer 1, and this will be and this fraud will be fixed by the Ethereum layer 1. And the ZK rollup have a more stronger security guarantee. It uses zero-knowledge proofs to guarantee that so if you do not execute the state correctly, if you do not execute the transaction correctly, so the Ethereum layer 1 blockchain will reject your submission. It means that it means that your layer 2 blockchain cannot move forward because the Ethereum layer 1 will not regard your block as valid. Yeah. Now let's consider so what's the security of the Bitcoin layer 2 can achieve. Yeah. So I think one thing is that maybe we can use some POS committee to achieve the Bitcoin layer 2. It means that so there will be some POS consensus, and they will choose some nodes, and this node will obtain some shares of the Bitcoin security, and they will and this node will bridge in and bridge out the assets and the messages between the Bitcoin and the layer 2 blockchain. And some other designs may want to design OP rollup upon the Bitcoin layer 2. It means that so in the OP rollup, so this project will act as the Ethereum layer 2 project, such as the Arbitrum. So the challengers, so if there are at least one challenger in the layer 2 or in the other participants, so the fraud execution of the state will be found. Yeah, but this face many challenges because, as I mentioned before, so the Bitcoin have limited probability. And I think the most challenging choice, or even it is impossible, is the follow-up upon the Bitcoin layer 2. Because the Bitcoin scripts have only limited operations of of the crypto operations, such like the elliptic curve multiplication, such like the bilinear mapping of the elliptic curves, and something like that. So Bitcoin do not support too much such operations. So I think the zk wrap is even if impossible upon the Bitcoin layer 2. Yeah, and when we see such different technical choices, we will find that so the long-term target of the Bitcoin layer 2 is similar with the Ethereum layer 2. We want to bridge the assets, the messages, and some other things from a slow but secure layer 1 to a layer 2. And the layer 2 can achieve the as secure as so the layer 2 can make the asset as secure as the underlying layer 1. Yeah, but at this time we only see that so because of the Bitcoin limitation, so we may do not have too much opportunity and we could not have a super fast product of the Bitcoin layer 2 so as secure and compatible with the Ethereum. Yeah, but in the long term, if we can overcome more and more technical challenges, maybe we can see that so what the Ethereum layer 2 have, what the Bitcoin layer 2 will also have. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just trying to get my head around it a little bit. So in terms of how that works as a summary, like a high level summary, is, and please correct me if I'm at any point, the way I imagine it from your description is that there is the problem is with one on the base layer with securing the funds, and then one transferring those funds or the representation of those funds to the layer 2, and then once those transactions on the layer 2 are complete, how do we verify that back on the base chain on the Bitcoin layer 1? And the way I understand it right now is that there are many possible mechanisms to do this, where and Conflux, the idea is that you use a proof of stake node which will transfer those assets via consensus to the layer 2 and then back onto the layer 1. Is that correct? How is the
Okay, let me explain more. So, for example, if some people they transfer their Bitcoin assets, let's just say transfer the Bitcoin to the layer 2, and in the layer 2, it may be do many different things, such as so swaps the Bitcoin to the USDT, or swap the USDT to the other types of tokens, and they may, such as buy some NFT by the Bitcoin, and later maybe another people B it receives enough Bitcoin and it decides to withdraw the Bitcoin on the Bitcoin layer 1. So during this process, so how do we guarantee? So let's say first say so what happens. So in this process, what happens on the Bitcoin layer 1? So you will see that the A the Bitcoin token from the Bitcoin from A will be transferred to the to some special address of the layer 2, and many times later, so B withdraws this Bitcoin to A's address. So what the security means here is that how do we guarantee that the B also on the layer 2, the B received enough Bitcoin. So many different transactions happen on the layer 2. So different things such as buy NFT, such as the use DeFi product. So all these valid transactions transfer assets from from A's wallet to the B's wallet. So how do we guarantee this thing is happened. So this thing is happened. So otherwise, so if any people can claim the Bitcoin layer 2 vault, the Bitcoin in the Bitcoin layer 2 address, we cannot say the asset is safe. So there are many different choices, and the most simple choice is that there is a POS committee. So the assets you transfer in is you can regard it as a multi-signature wallet, and this multi-signature is obtained by a POS committee. And the POS committee, usually it is elected in a decentralized way. So we can believe that the POS committee have a decentralized security. And once this POS committee multi-signs withdrawal transactions, we think that since we trust this POS committee, so we trust that all the assets move. For example, the assets from A wallet to they become layer 2 address and then to the BIS wallet. So this process is valid. So there are some different ways. So the Conflux choices is that because Conflux is a hybrid, uses a hybrid consensus, we have a POW mechanism and a POS mechanism. And the Conflux choices is to use the POS committee to hold these to hold the assets on the Bitcoin layer 2. And so the Conflux execution layer will tell the POS committee so who have enough so what's the balance of the people on the layer 2, and for example, if B wants to withdraw 1 Bitcoin to its wallet on the Bitcoin layer 1, so the Conflux execution layer will check B if B have enough balance. And if it did, it will deduct the balance from the BIS wallet. And then the Conflux POS committee will sign a transaction on the Bitcoin layer 1 and to transfer out the 1 Bitcoin to the BIS wallet. Yeah, and there is one big challenge is that the Conflux POS committee is changing. So in every hour, we will have different people to become the POS committee. So this is decentralized choices, decentralized platform. And but for the Bitcoin, we cannot change the address on the Bitcoin blockchain. So up here, we use some complicated crypto protocols, some like the DPSS, something like that, to achieve that even if the address on the Bitcoin, the layer 2 vault address on the Bitcoin layer 1 does not change, so we can still have enough, but we can still change the POS committee on the Conflux layer 1.
Okay, I think that makes a lot of sense. So the way I understand that now is you have this UXTI, which is a multi-sig. People submit their value to this, and then that is then controlled by a POS committee that is on the layer 2. That POS committee then validates and verifies the activity on the layer 2, and then that verifies on the base chain. So whatever activities happened, that is the validation, and the validation is the security is done through the proof of stake committee, which is then selected on I guess a random selection of people at any specific one time for that to validate on the chain, and then that's executed on the base chain. Okay, fantastic. That makes a lot of sense. That's really interesting. And so I guess that's a really interesting kind of like take on that compared to the bit VM I kind of see that as an alternative way of looking at this kind of validation or the security of how you trust the verification of the layer 2 on the layer 1 base chain.
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, so I think all the Bitcoin layer 2 faces a choice between the security and between the compatibility. So I have to acknowledge that. So I think BitVM is a more secure way than the Conflux. Yeah. So for the Conflux Bitcoin layer 2 design, you must trust that the Conflux POS committee, or you must trust the Conflux consensus. Yeah, and the Conflux is a layer 1 project, so we believe it is also a reasonable assumption. Yeah, but the Bitcoin VM have a more strong security guarantee, so you do not need to trust. Or we can say you do not need to trust the BitVM's committee to trust they have a majority. They have a majority of the on this node. You only need to trust they have at least one on this node. That's what the OP rollup means. So in the Ethereum layer 2 OP rollup, you only need to trust that so all the layer 2 participants, there is at least one honest participant, and this participant will submit a fraud proof if there are some incorrect things happen on the Bitcoin layer 2. Yeah, but their design has also some drawbacks. So as I mentioned before, so because Bitcoin only have limited programmability, so it is very hard or even impossible to make something like as complicated as EVM to become OP rollable on the Bitcoin layer 1. Yeah. So you can see that BitVM is a much simpler design compared to the EVM. Yeah, and this may be in the long term it will raise some challenges in developing their to develop their community. So because the EVM currently is a very large community, there are many EVM developers. There are very much EVM. So the developed tools such as the Truffle, the Hardhat, and OpenZeppelin, the famous secure EVM contract library. And there are many famous projects such as the Uniswap and many other different projects in product. Yeah. So if you decide to design a new if you to develop a new virtual machine such as BitVM, so I think it is a challenge to think how to make this VM developer community have enough compatibility to compare to the other VMs such as the EVM. Yeah. So as a conclusion, I believe there is a trade-off or choices between the capability, or more concretely, the EVM compatibility and the security. So you trust Conflux consensus have a possible honest majority, or you trust BitVM as at least one honest participant. I think this is the difference.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there's some security considerations that are different with BitVM versus the proof of stake that Conflux are using, but the proof of stake security mechanism that Conflux are using is beneficial specifically for Conflux because it's kind of bridging the assets between this layer 1 on EVM that's EVM compatible and Bitcoin, right? So yeah, do you mind just giving a brief overview of like how that interoperates between Bitcoin and the EVM layer 1, and how that kind of creates this really amazing intersection between this theoretical access to Bitcoin through EVM?
Okay. So first, Conflux will use its POS committee to transfer in and transfer out the Bitcoin assets and some other important things. Yeah. For example, we noticed that the Bitcoin committee have developed many different RC, such like the BRC, ARC, different types of tokens, and they have designed, they have introduced some new concepts, such as the ordinals or the let me check what's the name of the Bitcoin's new concept. I remember it is something called the the ordinals and the inscription. Yeah. So let's talk about the most simplest way. The Conflux POS committee will transfer in and transfer out the Bitcoin tokens. And when the Bitcoin tokens transferred to the Conflux chain, so the Conflux chain, it will be both the Conflux layer 1 and the Bitcoin layer 2. So currently Conflux have a multi-space design. It means that on the Conflux there are several different spaces. The first spaces is what we call is a Conflux core space. In the Conflux core space, there are many special design of the Conflux VM. And at some time, we found that Conflux core space is hard hard for the EVM developers. So we make a fully compatible, EVM fully compatible space. We call the Ethereum space. And the core space transaction and the Ethereum space transactions will share the same consensus layer and will share the same execution layer. So for most transactions, they work in their own space, and there are some internal contracts can bridge the messages and assets between these two spaces. And all these and the communication between the two spaces is guaranteed by the consensus protocol. It means that so all the assets and the messages transferred between two spaces are as secure as the transaction inside one space. And currently, we decide to make the third space called the B space, or we call it the Bitcoin space. So the Bitcoin space is a special is a space like the E space or the core space of the Conflux layer 1, and at the same time, it's also regarded as Bitcoin layer 2. Yeah. So when the POS community transfer assets from the Bitcoin to the Conflux layer 2, so in fact, it will be transferred to the B space. And this Bitcoin space is fully EVM compatible virtual machine. It means that all the existing EVM contracts, all the existing Ethereum products, they can migrate to the Conflux B space. And this space can also to interactive to the other spaces such as the E space. So currently, Conflux E space also have some some Ethereum economic. Yeah. And and when you want to withdraw your assets from the from the layer 2 back to the layer 1, what happens here is to transfer your assets on the Bitcoin space to a special address, and the POS committee will transfer back to your will transfer back your assets to the Bitcoin layer 1 to your specific address. And one thing is that so the Bitcoin community currently has some concept as the ordinals, and in my understanding, the ordinals is to treat each unit of the Bitcoin. It's called the Satoshi. It treats each Satoshi as an NFT. So every Satoshi are different, and you can bind some other things, such like the ARC tokens to Satoshi to this NFT. So we will also support that. So when you transfer in, if you specify that, if you tell the Conflux layer 2 that, so it is not just a simple Bitcoin, it is a special Satoshi. And then Conflux POS community will treat these things as an NFT. And it will mint an NFT on the Conflux Bitcoin layer 2 in the Bitcoin space. And when someone decides to withdraw this NFT to the Bitcoin layer, the same Satoshi will be sent to the specific address. So that's what Conflux plans to do.
Wow, thank you. That is quite the ambition for sure. I the idea that you can migrate this Bitcoin, this kind of like store of value into an EVM environment, which frees up a lot of the block space on Bitcoin, allowing it to scale a lot larger than it currently can, and kind of use the store of value as something slightly more useful on a day-to-day basis than just a store of value, by migrating the functionality of EVM into this kind of space, this merged space between EVM and Bitcoin, can create this really exciting innovation, or like access to innovation, or opportunity for innovation. So I think that's a really exciting prospect for what Conflux is doing. So yeah, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very interesting conversation. We do have 2 questions from the audience. So let me just have you guys for that for a few more minutes. I think you guys touched this a bit, but maybe we can go more in depth to it. What is the approach to decentralization? So I think here the question was, how will Conflux make sure that the Bitcoin layer 2 will be decentralized? What is the approach there?
Yeah. So the decentralization approach is that the first Conflux is a layer 1 project. It is a public chain. So we can think that the Conflux consensus is a decentralization. It is decentralization enough. We are a public chain, have operated in about 3 years. Yeah. So Conflux uses its POS committee to become the to hold the different shares of the assets on the Bitcoin blockchain. It means that all the operations on the Bitcoin layer 1, so all the operations sent from the Conflux layer 2 to the Bitcoin layer 1 are agreed by all the Conflux consensus, including all the POW miners and all the POS staking holders, the staking participants. At least half of the POW miners and 2/3 of the POS committees, POS stakers, they are on it. So I think the Conflux decentralization will guarantee the decentralization of the Bitcoin layer 2.
All right.
Yeah, of our Bitcoin layer 2.
Thank you on that. Another question from Ian. So will Conflux serve as a bridge between the world of Ethereum and Bitcoin? How will people transfer assets from one chain to the other?
You mean the Ethereum and Bitcoin?
Yes, that's the question.
Yeah. So in fact, we believe our current design is more like a bridge between the Conflux and Bitcoin. Yeah, but we are more than a bridge. Just as I mentioned before, so the security of this bridge is not guaranteed by by a bridge product. It is guaranteed by the whole Conflux public chain layer 1 consensus. Yeah, I think that's many differences. And the Conflux also have some bridge to the Ethereum. Yeah, but at this time, so when you need to bridge assets between the Conflux and the Ethereum, you need to use some third-party products such as the startup flow and some other bridge products. They will help you to bridge between the Conflux and the between the Conflux and the Ethereum, but this is what not the Conflux core system does. I think that's the main difference between the bridge between Bitcoin to Conflux and the bridge between Conflux to other public chains.
All right. Thank you. That seems that all these were the questions from the audience. As a closeout question, as we are in the bull run, what do you guys think? Where will Bitcoin stop? What is going to be the new all-time high?
I can't answer the market questions. I'm not familiar with that.
All right. Any number from you, Justin?
I reckon 150 before halving.
That sounds wonderful. That sounds wonderful. Would love to see that. All right, Chengxin, and all right, Justin, thank you guys for joining for this wonderful conversation. I'm keen to see how the world of DeFi on Bitcoin will evolve. Thank you guys for being here. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet you guys. Bye.
Yeah.
All right, going forward, we will have a presentation prepared by Monica from OKX, and she's gonna be here in a second.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you here. I'm Monica from OKX Web3 team. And thanks a lot to the Conflux and the UHAC having me here today. And I'm so glad and honored to be to have such kind of speech here for all of you guys. And yeah, I'm so glad that you're gonna know more about OKX after my speech, and you're gonna know more about what we are doing, what kind of the blockchain industry it is. And I'm so glad to like explore this world with all of you guys here. All right, let me share my screen first. Okay. All right. Can you see my screen right now? Yeah, I guess it works. All right, cool. Yeah, my topic for today's speech is the All for One Web3 app. As I just mentioned about OKX Web3, but not OKX. As we all know, that OKX actually is the second largest trading volume exchange in the world for now, which also share the second largest market size. And that's definitely very cool, right? But we are also embrace the compliance for now and trying to work with the government and all those financial institutions to ensure our product and the service are in compliance in different countries and regions. And for now, I want to just make a disclaimer before that. I just introduce our product, what we are doing, what the blockchain it is. We don't offer any financial advice. All right, let's dive in. Yeah, I think most of people you like the audience here today, you definitely know what is Web3, and I just want to make it very clear for all of you that like journey from Web3 to Web2 and Web3. From the Web1, like you have to insert your username, password, and then Web2, like people have a lot of social accounts with different functions, like Google for the mail, the Facebook for the social, Twitter for the social as well, and LinkedIn for like the professional social network. So in Web3, what's going to be the entrance? When you go to the D apps, decentralized apps, right? Every person will see you have to connect a wallet, and then you can move forward to the next steps to start interactions with the apps and try out the functions. So the wallet absolutely is the entrance for the Web3, and that's what we are doing, and that's also the infrastructure of the blockchain. Yeah, I like this picture. You know, I get this picture from the Twitter, and I think it's really visible for most people. They when they hear like, oh, Bitcoin goes to all-time high, right? Oh, some meme coins goes to the Times Square screen, and the meme coins makes a lot of billionaires. Ethereum, what is Ethereum NFTs look so fancy and cool, but what's actually like the people building in this industry, right? Like we are working on the self-custodial wallet, and also like restaking, layer 2 scalable AA wallet as well. And there are so many concepts and so many new innovations, technologies like right behind this whole industry. And I believe there are more and more builders, especially like the builders like you, with so much enthusiasm to put your effort to grow the blockchain industry bigger. I really appreciate that, because for me, I'm the product growth. I'm like my duty and the responsibility are trying to involve more people to this industry to understand what kind of technology we are doing and what kind of things we are building, and trying to find more user cases for the normal people, let them accept the blockchain, like the apps, trying to get them more interested in this field. So I really appreciate the builders who are like dedicated in this area, and also put a lot of efforts to building in this industry. Yeah, I think this is for most people, general people. If they don't really understand what is Web3, I will say three main traits that the Web3 owns, like the decentralization. It's not like big corporations, like the power are decentralized. So that's very global thing. And also security. We have different kinds of the cryptography and the like encrypt ways, and also the transparency. Every single data, all of the information are on chain, so people are able to access it. Yeah, I think most of you are quite familiar with all those information I just mentioned about, and maybe you are the expert on the technology. All right, I'm gonna make more introduction on what is OKX. As I just mentioned, as the cryptocurrency exchange platform, we have great outcomes and achieved a lot in past 7 years. But we are also have a large team working on the purely Web3 part. Our team actually have around 300 people. We working on the wallet product fully with our efforts. Yeah, I would say our OKX Web3 offerings, if you have the OKX app, please open your phone right now, open the app right now and tap. There is a button on the top from the exchange to the wallet. So which means our wallet product and our exchange product are in one app. So it's gonna be really convenient for you guys just to keep everything in one app. And don't question that. I wanna make it clear that our wallet is self-custodial. It's non-business with the centralized exchange. So you can take the wallet fully control of your assets, definitely. All right. Yeah, if you open our app, you will see there is a wallet like homepage, and also we have a DEX, we have an NFT marketplace, and DeFi Discover. And by the way, I want to mention about that OKX is also going to launch our chain, the L2 chain. We use the ZK knowledge technology on the applying to that chain. It's already on the testnet. We were gonna launch it soon. So yeah, keep waiting for that, and it's gonna come in soon. All right, about the wallet, it's gonna we're trying to make it very user friendly. So when the users goes to create a wallet or import, it's very simple. It's just like 2 or 3 steps can onboard a user to the homepage. And we have like a whole ecosystem in this wallet, not just a dashboard to show how many assets you have. So there are a lot of things you can do in the wallet. First of all, we have the DEX, which actually is a cross-chain aggregator. Compared to 1inch, we have the biggest advantage of our DEX is we are cross-chain. So there is no need for you to swap them to the same chain by the other third-party cross-chain bridge. You can just one click in our DEX to swap the tokens and assets in different chains. And also the root are very clear to display on the chain, on the interface. So users can see very clearly like how we cross-chain, how we make it cross-chain, what's the first step from Ethereum to USDT to Ethereum USDC, and then from Ethereum USDC to Polygon USDC, kind of like that whole route. So it's be very simple and secure and powerful. Also, most of the time we have some the free gas campaign. So if you choose some of the cross-chain bridge, we'll probably give you some free gas rebate. So there are a lot of campaigns happening on. Also, we have the OKX NFT marketplace. I would say, although we built this product a little bit late after the Blur, after the OpenSea, but because like at the end of last year, the inscriptions are so hot and people like are trying to get more liquidity on the NFT marketplace for the inscriptions and ordinals. So we got like very rapid growth during that time on the users and the transaction volumes, transaction numbers, kind of those numbers. Yeah. So currently you will see there are we actually integrate with OpenSea, Blur, the other NFT marketplace as well. And we also have our own NFT drops, which is a platform to showcase and display some new coming or new launch NFTs. So the users, if they like to get some new NFTs to get the value from it or to hold it, they are happy to come to our platform to see this kind of NFT drops. Yeah. And one thing I want to highlight is that if you trade NFTs in our platform, there is 0 fee. So we don't charge anything. That's a good thing, right? Especially for those like daily traders, I think. Yeah. Okay. We also have a DeFi product. If you open the app, you will see it's right after the NFT marketplace. I would say we don't write on our own smart contract to hold or store users' assets. So for this DeFi is also like a aggregator. We integrate with different protocols. Like recently, we are working with some restaking protocols. They will give us some like the APY bonus for our users. So you will earn more bonus or points from our platform compared to the original ones. So which actually encourage a lot of big whales come to our platform to win this bonus as well. Also, we like previously we work with the Solana, like here, Solana Super season. We have lots of the campaigns coming up, so keep an eye on that. You will definitely get something special and good for you. But I would say on the DeFi side, we also have the BRC20 staking. In the near future, we are also going to integrate with some Bitcoin layer 2 related protocols and trying to bring those new protocols on our platform so that the users can experience and get more bonus from us. Yeah, which is good, right? Okay, let's move to next one. Yeah, if you are not a like big whale, you just really interested into try on different new projects, new D apps. Here you should definitely come to the OKX Discover. Here we offer some projects. It's like a D apps dashboard, I would say like that. And there are a lot of campaigns here, like Cryptopedia and also the banner place. These campaigns, we are trying to offer our users not just the bonus, but also a kind of like education for them to try on some new chain, new L2 or new ecosystem. So users can come here and see what's update every day and what they can try on this. And also when they interact with those the apps, they definitely will get some maybe the tokens or our jobs expectations or whitelist or something, which is very interesting. And we actually we don't recommend any the apps like trying to shout out for them, but we just offer such kind of platform so that the users can through us to learn more. And actually, in this page, we also have a browser function, so which can help most users to get rid of the risky websites, like the phishing websites on the Google if you search by yourself, and you like at the like if you scroll the bar, you will see and you enter the apps you wanna in our browser. We can ensure that the security of the website, and when you get into the browser, the wallet will be connected directly. So it's gonna be like really convenience for the users. We have like more than 100 people's engineering team, and the whole team are trying to secure the security and trying to get rid of the potential risk for our users. And in every single like some small details, the small points, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I think that's pretty much about today's speech. But if you need to ask me more questions or here, I'm gonna leave my Telegram here, and then you can add my Telegram, connect with me to like build with OKX together. Also, we have our public chain gonna launch very soon. So if you're interested in to deploy your project on our public chain, just feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, I think OKX wallet is keep growing. And if you are our users, you have any product feedback, just let me know, and I'm gonna help you out. If you have some like problem when you are using it, and also we are happy and open to work with all the apps in the ecosystem. So if you want to do some campaigns or your DApp is going to launch very soon, you want to like you wanted to get some co-marketing things, you can also reach out to me. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about today. And thanks again to the UHack. And thanks again to the conference for letting me have such kind of presentation here today. And also thanks all the audience for listening. Hi, bye-bye.
All right. And this was the OKX presentation. Thanks everyone for joining today, for this morning session. Don't forget that we will have the afternoon session later on today, so make sure to be there. We're going to be having some exciting speakers as well during the afternoon. And most importantly, don't forget that submissions are due until next Thursday, midnight of GMT, which is March 14th. After that, we'll be having a short judgment period, and on the 16th, we'll be announcing winners. Again, submissions are due next Thursday, midnight GMT. Thank you guys for joining for today's speaking session. Happy hacking to everyone. Cheers.